taking shit.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brenda. So I'm standing outside right now in my yard. I'm getting ready to work on my shade garden, which is positioned right behind me. This garden has grown up all year, and now I'm ready to get out here and try and put out some flowers. So I'm gonna spin you around. Hold on just a moment. Now in this garden here, this area, I don't know if you all remember when we had the bad hurricane that came through and tore down all these trees. We lost a ton of trees. It opened up more sunlight on that side of the yard, but still in the shade garden, as you can see, right now the way the sun is positioned, it's getting a lot of shade. But as the sun moves over into that open spot over here, the shade garden will get more sunlight. So I think I can put a mixture of plants out here. Currently, we have a bunch of weed out here, if you can see. This right here is a flower of mine that comes back every year. We're definitely keeping that. That is weed. So we're going to pull up all the weeds. Now we have several hostas out here. This is a hosta. And we got a wild blackberry coming out here. I'm going to pull up all of that. And let's see. I think I got a total of 5 or 6 hostas out here. There should be one in here that has not come up yet. There is my other hosta there coming up. Here is another one. And these ferns, I got these ferns from down by the creek by our home. That's on our property. So I bought these lady ferns up here. And then, let's see. I don't see my polka dot plants. I don't see that they came back this year. Now, they could be under all of these leaves. There's an ant bed here that we got to get out. There is another hosta there, if you can see that one. And let's see. I saw another one coming somewhere. Let's see. Where's my other hosta? Because you know, with these straw out here, with all this leaf, you really can't tell what's out here. So that's why I want to get out here and clean. Here's my another hosta here. That's a hosta there. That's one there. I'm using the stick, y'all, like I'm a school teacher in the classroom pointing out things. All this is nothing but weed. All of this is weed. I have a purple plant here. There should be another hosta somewhere over here coming in. But what I want to do probably this weekend is get out here, and I really want to work on my garden here. This is another lady fern there. Here is the hosta here. Here is a different one I have here. Let me zoom in a little close. That's another hosta. So we have 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4. I think I got a total of 6 hostas. And then I got a ton of balloon flowers that I'm going to be putting out here as well. And I have 1 balloon flower out here, but I have several others. So this is what we're going to work on this weekend. So today we'll probably, between today and tomorrow, just work on getting it all cleaned out, all the leaves out and all of that. Probably get my husband to rerun the water out here. The water is still run, just to check it to make sure we don't need to do anything, because I want to make sure that this area, I want this area covered in. I love the balloon flowers. I love hostas. And I think that's really mainly, and the corbels. That's what I want out here. I have 1 corbel out here somewhere in this area. I don't see that it's come back yet, but prayerfully it will. But once we get out here and start cleaning and digging around and stirring up the soil, that normally encourages growth. So this is what we're working on today, and I will bring you all back as we get started. All right, guys, and we are down here by the steps, so we're getting ready to clean up this area here. So I'll probably get out here tomorrow and try and weed it. And this is my yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That is what this plant is called. So it's beginning to bloom. But I don't know if this side is alive or not, but I'll show you what one looks like on the other side that did bloom. So this is on the other side of the step. So this is, these are my obedient plants here. I got to weed all in here. Here is my other yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Isn't that pretty? So hopefully it'll grow, because it was in the shade over there. It wasn't doing good. So now I got my husband out here. I'm asking him to blow out the shade garden. So earlier in the video, I showed you all what we had going on in the shade garden that I needed to get blowed out, so that we can kind of like see what we got left out here, what plants came back and what didn't. So as you can hear in the background, he has the blower. So he's getting ready to come over here so we can kind of like blow this stuff out. And then I can get out here tomorrow and kind of start weeding and pulling out some of this so we can see what hostas came back and what plants did come back.
Don't take it personal, I ain't lying, I ain't hiding, I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me.
This is my shade garden. So we got out here the other day. This is all the leaves. As you can see, 3 piles that came out of here. These are my flowers here. And then those are the lady ferns. I took those from the creek bed and brought them up here. This is my hostas. So I have about 8 hostas up here. And I think it should be more than that because we planted some more hostas up here. So that's one of my hostas. That's one of my hostas coming. I have a pot of balloon flowers on the porch I need to bring and put down here. I'm supposed to have hostas out here, but I am not seeing any. There is one here that something keeps eating up, as you can see. There is one there that's growing beautifully. I have another lady fern there. Nothing here. So I'm thinking about finding me something to put right in here because it needs something here. Oh, baby, look. I think this might be one coming here. Yeah, this is one. That's a hosta coming there. And I have one there. So I was trying to wait on all my little hostas to come up so I'll know exactly where they are before I start digging out here and putting in more stuff. This is another hosta here. Here's one here. And there should be another one somewhere in here because I thought I had 2 right in here together. Here, what you see is my balloon flower. And I have a pot of those on the porch that I'm going to split into 2 and make me some clumps. So I'll probably put a big clump here and a clump over there. But we're going to bring some of that creeping Jenny, baby, you think? Would you? I think it'd be pretty around the tree. Put some of that creeping Jenny out here and a few of those zinnias and see how they do. Because if they are a multiplying flower, that would be perfect. If they would just multiply and fill up this area and make it so pretty back here. And then we have those hostas that'll be sprinkled in. I think it'll look really, really pretty. We were getting ready to go to the store and buy something, but I don't know. I'm going to see what the hubby want to do, but I might have just enough plants here at the house. The porch is another area I want to work on. So I want to move this pot out. I want to pull up all these weeds. We got to get mulch to put around here. All this stuff here is my obedient plant. Now, this obedient plant really multiplies. Now, I don't see hardly any over here. I used to have some right here before my husband dug this and put this plant here. I have a little bit there. But this plant here is one plant, and that's how big it is. And I have one in this pot here that I'm thinking about pulling and taking it in the shade garden. See if it'll grow back there. Let's see what's over here, because this is my other little garden here, my flower bed. Where, baby? Oh, it is a petunia. So I have petunias coming back from last year. No, it's gone, but it's a petunia. And then inside the bed, I have a rose that came back. We had knockout roses back here. And this looked like my candy cane rose that came back, so we're not going to move it. I'm just going to come out here and weed a little bit. And since I have a piece of rose there, I might buy me a small one to go over here. And we have this piece of azalea that died, but the only part that kept was this side here. So we just keep that out here. And so yeah, I need to get out here and work in this little bed as well, but we're gonna do one at a time. So I think today what I want to do is work around my step area, and I'll probably take any little pieces of plants that I find that I want to put in the shade garden, I'll take over there. But I think this morning we want to just work around his step because it's cool right now before it gets hot. So that's what we're going to do. Probably work on this side, work around on this side. So I'm going to go and get my camera, get it charged, and then I'll pull you all back up when we're ready to get busy. All right, so we're getting ready to put out these plants. I might be doing it alone, but I have 4 lamb's ear that I want to put out. I have 2 of the sedum that are actually big enough. I might split them down the middle. I have 2 hostas, bell stop, and each hosta looks like it's got like 4 plants in there that I could probably split. And then we have the Lovejoy lilies that I want to put out. Now the plan was to do this bed here, but unfortunately we are still fighting with ants in here. Every time my hubby thinks he's gotten rid of them, they turn around and come right back. So we're not going to be able to do that, but I do see that some of the plants that I had out here last year are coming back. Now this is not one of them, clearly, but these are. This one is one, looks like, and those over there. So we're gonna see what comes back before I start digging in there. So that's a good thing that, you know, the ants are keeping me from digging in it right now. But the area that we're gonna work on today is gonna be over here in the shade garden. I'm thinking about putting my hostas, I'm just really thinking about putting everything I want in this bed area here. My husband keeps saying he wants to put some more soil out here. And because when we first put this bed out here, we bought a truckload of soil and put out here and a truckload of black mulch. Well, over the years, everything has begun to break down. First thing I need to do is drag all this water line out the way so that I could actually get in here and put my stuff on in here. So anyway, I'm in my garden and I'm gonna go ahead and get my plants pulled out so that we can start assessing how much we have and what we're gonna put out. So what I'll do is go ahead and get started with that. Hubby said we may wait till this afternoon to do it, which is fine with me either way. But so anyway, I'm gonna do what I need to do to get these flowers and try and assess them, and then I'll pull you all back up. All right guys, so I'm back in the flower garden. So what I want to start by doing is going ahead and pulling up all these water lines and get all of this out of the way. I may be moving a few things around, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and pull up all the water line and I'll pull you back up. So I bought out the lamb's ear where I want to sit it. And now looking at the plant here, if you look, this plant has several pieces in here. So I'm thinking about dividing it. I'm thinking about dividing each pot, maybe taking 2 or 3 from each pot and moving it up there around my step. Make me a nice little clump up there on each side of the stair. And then we're gonna take the rest of it and I'm gonna probably try and put it into, like, I wanna give it 18 inches apart. So I'm thinking about putting a nice big clump here, and then we're gonna move a clump here, maybe a clump over here. Right in here, we're gonna do a clump there and a nice big clump out here. Clump here. You know, we just wanna sprinkle it in everywhere. And then we're gonna come back in with the hostas that we bought, because we got 2, but each hosta pot has about 4 in it. So thinking about doing the exact same thing. So let me get this going and then I'll pull you all back up. Guys, and these are the hostas. So I bought this type here because I have that color there. I have that one. And what's the other one I have? I have the one that's got the dark green around the edge of the leaf. And then I have this style hosta. So I didn't have that one. So I thought that would be a pretty contrast out here. And these hosta, if you pay attention, it does have the potential to be split. So I'm going to split it. So I'm going to split it and probably make it into 4 pieces. Even though it's like 4 in the container, I don't want them too small. So I'm thinking about making 4, putting 2 to the hole. So making 4 additional hosta. Split the lamb ear, and that should give me a nice big bed back here. Now we also have the sedum, and I have the Lovejoy lilies up there as well. So I'm not sure yet how I want to do it. But let me go ahead. I got my shovel, I got my plant tone, and we're gonna go ahead and try and pop these in where I want them at and just see how it looks. All right, guys, so welcome back, welcome back. So we have plugged in every plant that I wanted to put out here for now, because there are still corabels or heucheras that I want to put out here. But for right now, this is what we have. The garden looks pretty good. We have hostas that we planted last year that's just beginning to put back out. And then we have some that I just put in today. We have some lamb's ear out here. We have sedum out here, balloon flower, petunias, lady fern, and then one other little flower that I wanted to show you. Hold on. All right, that is a zinnia. So I dug up one zinnia from the other garden over there, and I'm thinking about today probably digging up a couple more because they're putting out over there, and probably bringing them out here and sprinkle them in. I don't know yet, but today's plan is to possibly see if we had. I saw some elephant ears down at our creek. Hold on. I saw some elephant ears down at our creek. Y'all, excuse how I look. I think I got a deep tan yesterday from being out this door. Because I was out here yesterday morning from 10 to about 2. And then I came back out about 4:30 or 5 until about 7. So I'm going to see if today if I can get the hubby to go down to the creek and get me them elephant ears. And I want to put them in that corner. Hold on, y'all.
Good morning, chicken shit.
Wow. Okay. So me and hubby are getting ready to go to Walmart because I'm out of yogurt. And that's been my breakfast, baby. Yogurt and granola every morning. My scale is dropping.
Check that.
I did. I already been out there.
That rabbit was standing right over there.
That rabbit can do what he... I'm going to spread with neem oil today, but I want to make sure. Bella on patrol. She looking for him, see?
Well, that rabbit was looking at Bella.
So I think today we're going to go down to the creek because I walked out there yesterday. It's not that bad back there. And I'll record and show you what I'm talking about. But back here, these are our blueberry bushes. There's one there and there's one there. But where I want to start putting my elephant ears, I want the giant elephant ears. I want to put me some elephant ears right here. I want to put a big one here. And then I want to build out from that. This cattle panel, I want to keep that. And I want to put it against the thing here. And then there's a climbing rose that I want to get to go up on it. And I think it'll be so pretty out here. Because this yard is transforming. My husband is closing it in right here for the deer. So that all of anything that we grow in here, they won't be able to get to. Now that will expose my shade garden that is sitting right over there. But once he closes this in, because we got to get rid of this tree. I told my husband we may have to bring that fence in and around that area and just close it out. Because we got to close it up to keep the deer out. But so far the deer have not been back over here since he put this big old fence up. Even though he hasn't fenced it out, I don't think they want to risk having to crawl under it and can't get out in time. But look at our, this is our grapevine. It looks so pretty. Everything has definitely jumped this year on the grapevine, and my husband wanted to grow it in this fashion, and I think it's real pretty. I like how that looks. It just definitely does something to the garden. So I would love to get some pretty stones and go around in the front. Or even if I can do nothing but just take some stones and just run all the way around here. And then I can plant some shrubberies in the middle. I think that'll be real pretty. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brenda. So I'm actually in the garden today. So we worked on the garden up by the staircase. We worked on my shade garden back here. And now today I want to work in this corner over here by the fence behind the grapevine over there. We have on the end of our property, there is a creek area. I'm going to walk over there. I went yesterday to see if they had any, because there's some elephant ears down there. And I don't know if I can use the ones from down there by the creek. But I'm going to move them up here. If I can get them, I'm going to bring them up here. And it's trying to make it's a design in my head that I'm trying to create, and I need those elephant ears to play in the background, and then I build from there. So that's what I'm trying to do. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna walk down here because it's real open down here. It's not as close as you might think. So we're gonna walk out here now to the creek, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. All right, I brought me a stick down here to hit my way to make sure I don't walk over nothing. So this is the area here. Our property here leads down to the creek bed, but I wanted to show you something here. Belle's just determined she's gonna go with me, y'all. When we had that bad storm, it tore up a lot of trees out here. A ton of trees. Look at that big one right there. That's a big old behind tree. And that one is long enough it would hit the house. I'm so glad that thing didn't fall. But anyway, over here, let me get where I can see under my feet, y'all, because with all this brush around, you have to be so careful. Because I don't want to step up on a snake, and they are crawling. That's why I got this stick hitting as I walk. Because like these stumps here, they can mimic a snake easy. And so that's why I'm using this stick. But if you see right there, there's a really good one right here. I'm going to get Patrick to come down here and get it for me. Get my hubby to come and get it for me, y'all. Hold on. It's nice and big, too. And it's a little one with it. You see it right there? That's the elephant ear that I want. I don't know if they're the same, but I'm going to get it. I have more than one down here. See if hubby will get that one for me. And then I want to bring it up here if he can get me one, more than one. I see only that one, though, but that's the one I want. All right, y'all, I'm getting me a stick because we are down here at the creek area, and we're trying to get some of these, what I think are elephant ears. I think they're the same thing that be in the store. Might be a little different, but but I'm hitting where this rotten wood at because, see, snakes could be hidden in here. Or waltzes or something, you know? All right, y'all, see? These are the elephant ears. They even got some of them pretty ferns I might bring up there. Is it a potato? Yours? So if you see, we have quite a few down there. Hubby gonna try and get a lot of them for me. So I got my rake and I broke out this little area here. These are all the elephant ears that I found. It's a yellow fly around my head, y'all. I hate them things. But these are the elephant ear that I found down there. So the plan is to put, all right, so, and this came at the creek bed. So I want to plant it right here. This is the plan. I want to put I'll probably put two right there together because I want them to get kind of big. And then the other, I think I'm going to put it in a pot on the porch just to see how they grow. Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. So it is the next day, and as you can see, we did get the rain. And it's a nice, slow soaking rain. It is nothing heavy and boisterous. It's a really slow soaking rain. I can actually walk out in this rain and not get wet up. But this is everything we planted yesterday. That Confederate jasmine is so pretty. Everything is getting watered in and looking really good. I even bought my house plants out here to get some of this soaking rain. This little pot is looking real pretty. Look at that. So we're going to give that a couple of days because when I started this pot, it looked just like that pot over there. And see how pretty it has become. So anyway, today was supposed to be the day that we worked on the kitchen garden. But that did not happen. So when we walk over here to the kitchen garden, again, it is raining, but it's not that bad. These are the celosas. And I'm going to pull up all my celosa. I may even pull up that rose there so that I can lay out my plants how I really want them to look in this bed because I want this bed to be really pretty. I want to plant it up with mainly perennials so I don't have to mess with this bed every year. Here is the other pot that we're working on. This pot here, this tree here is a yesterday, today, and tomorrow plant. That's the name of this tree. And around this tree, I want to have petunias. And that's what I've started on the other pot. I'll show you. This area needs to be reweeded. And once I plug in that Mexican heather there, then we're going to go ahead and put in a few of those, maybe one or two of the butter daisies out front here. And then I'm going to go ahead and mulch this area. Same on this side. Only thing I'm going to do on this side is plug in one or two butter daisies. Get out my garden, Bella. And then mulch it in. And then here is the other pot that I was telling you about. These are petunias around here. One little piece of petunia. So that's what started that. So yeah, so we are going to be working on that. I should walk out here and show you the shade garden because I'm Let me see. I'm waiting on plants. My daughter ordered me some plants. Y'all, it's raining, but it's not a hard rain, so I'm going to walk out here and show you. It actually feels pretty darn good. This is my Nico Blue hydrangea. It is blooming. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? But anyway, back here is the shade garden. So remember I told you my daughter ordered me about 9 different plants. So she ordered me a ton of stuff to go back here. Oh, the rain's getting hard. I got to go. But I'm waiting on that stuff to come. It's not going to ship until Monday, I think, the 12th, May 12th. When it ships and I get it, then we're going to plug in what we're going to put out here. Then we're going to come out and put the mulch in, change this board out. And this is going to be a pretty area. You wait. Because we're actually going to go in with some other things that I want back here to make it really pretty and stand out. But anyway, I'm going back in because it's getting a little hard out here, the rain. All right, guys, so we were able to get outside. So I've emptied that tray out. These are some of the, what do you call them? Can't think of the name, but these were in the kitchen garden and I pulled them up. I put some here. And remember, we had 1 rose out there. So I put the rose in the middle and then I went around it with these, what do you call these little things? I said the name, coleus? No. Not coleus. They're something else. I can't think of it, but I'll put the name on the screen. So I made that little pot, and I think that is really pretty. Now, I'll show you what we did outside. Remember, we had, I shared with you in the last video. Remember, I shared with you this pot. This is a, what is that? That's dead. This is the yesterday, today, and tomorrow tree. And around it, some petunia. I have petunias. So, and let me show you what we did with the other pot. Now, in the other pot, we had so many of these things. This is my other yesterday, today, and tomorrow tree that I have growing in the center. So I just put some of these little plants that I pulled up. I can't think of the name of them, y'all. Out of the kitchen garden. So this is a kitchen garden. So I've been able to get out here and I've plugged in a few things. We're not mulching until I get everything in, and you already know this about me. So right now we've put in our Mexican sage. On each end of the Mexican sage, we have the Mexican heather. And on the ends of that, we have the blood flower that my husband picked out. And now right in front here, we still have our sedum, a plug of sedum there. So I'm going to put in this plant here. I might back it up a little bit. We're going to plug in that plant, which is the million bell. We're going to put a million bell there. And then in the middle here, we're going to go in with a nice bundle of these beautiful butter daisies. And then that leaves me room to plug in other things over here if I so desire. Back up in there, where we may plug in annuals, things that, you know, would just be like, we call them hole fillers. They'll fill in the hole and bring you some color, but they're not perennial. So this is what the garden is looking like so far. This one needs to go back some. I'm liking it pretty well. I think it looks really pretty. So let me plug in the last 3 and then I'll pull you right back up. All right, guys, so today we are, I think hubby bought some mulch. So we're going to go ahead and finish up the kitchen garden. And then we're going to finish weeding around the step here. And I'm going to pick these stones up and reposition them how I want them. And make sure we don't have any answers. And then we're going to mulch everything in. Now this side, I don't think I'm going to add anything else. If I add anything, it may be a couple of those heather. I don't know, but I know I'm putting 1 heather over here. Because I have, on this side, I have a phlox. And that's a purple phlox. So I want something purple over here. Okay, so we are in the garden today. So we are planting, finishing up our step area. Hubby is still mulching the other side. I've been over here sweeping out these bricks. And I need to lift these up and reset them. So they'll sit up higher, especially this corner here. So I'll probably lift all of these out and reset them. And yeah, but that's what it's looking like so far. Hubby has it really thick in certain areas because we know where we get the most water and we don't want the water to wash it out. So that's what we have right there. Now he is working on our kitchen garden. So let me put the camera down and help him, and then I'll show you what we're doing. All right, this is what the bed is looking like. I still have to go back and get 1 sedum because I want one right here to match. But I think other than that, I think I'm satisfied with my bed. We don't want anything way back there against that wall because when that water comes down, it's gonna beat it to death. But yeah, so I do like that. Hubby's gonna put a little bit more mulch on it. Been created this area here, and it's been just hard to keep stuff around it, but I think we found we got the magic touch this year. We got it figured out. So yeah, so I just want to get some solar lamps, wind chimes, here on the steps, because the step area is so wide. I wouldn't mind having some little lights coming up the steps, solar of course. And then when you step up on the porch, you have this plant, the elephant ears, which we still playing with them. I don't know if I'm gonna keep them. I might buy me 2 nice elephant ears. But yeah, so this is what we have so far. So it's looking good. So we were able to get this done. All right, so now we have this much mulch left. So hubby is going to try and put what's left in the shade garden. They ready? Let me look at your onions.
Look at all these, they dying out down there.
Yeah, you got it. Oh, they done gone bad?
No, they've been out there.
Oh, it's time for them to come out the ground.
Yeah.
You did good, baby. Look at them red onions. You proud?
That's a big one somewhere.
Yeah, you did some big old ones. Yeah, I see it right there.
Yeah.
That big old one right there. So we're gonna walk out here to the shade garden because I wasn't ready to mulch it yet. But hubby said we got the extra mulch. He's gonna go ahead and mulch it. So we're gonna come on out here. I gotta get my gloves because clearly this is not a flower. Oh, I had to have gloves for that. That's not a flower. And let's see. This little, I want him to throw some 10-10-10 out here before we mulch it. Babe, can we put some 10-10-10 throw out there before we mulch it? And here we go. We are not completely finished. So next weekend, we will probably have to order 1 more scoop. And then this whole bed is going to be done. So we still have this part here to finish. And once we get this finished, put out the mulch, then we're done. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brenda. So I'm actually just now coming downstairs. I'm getting ready to go outside because it's getting ready to rain. So hubby and I decided that we would go ahead and try and put out, I have a bunch of shade plants that I want to try and get in the ground. So what I'm going to do, who am I out of breath? We're going to run out here and try and get them in the ground before that rain gets here. It's really cool outside. It's Sunday, but it's cool out the door. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's a lot cooler than it normally is. But anyway, we're gonna go out here now. Let me grab my plants. He is getting the soil that we're gonna need, and then I'll pull you all back up, okay? Stay tuned. All right, guys, so these are the plants I have sitting up here. So I'm gonna run through them real quick. I gotta try and get some of these in the ground, if not all. Right here is Brunera. I have 2 Brunera is the name of them. This is the Siberian Bugloss. So that is one version of it. And then this is a different colored one. And that's a emerald. Okay. Emerald mist. And then I also have this one here. This is the silver gumdrop. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull the little tag up so we can see it. Part shade. This is the silver gumdrop. This one here, I gotta be careful with these things here. This one is the evening gown. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it, we can see it. Now that's gonna make a pretty dark one. And it's called the dressed up evening gown. Here I have, it's raining? All right, we're gonna have to wait because the rain is already here. This one is the black pearl from Proven Winners. This is a black pearl. I don't think I ever showed y'all the plants. This one here is the silver gumdrop again. So I got 2 silver gumdrops. So I do know I want the silver gumdrops out here. So let's look at the garden and see where. So I think one of the silver gumdrops will be really pretty out front here. Let's see. The rain is on the way. I'm trying to get something in the ground before the rain gets here. So maybe we could put the one right here, even though it's the hosta is right there. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I back it up a little. What about right there? Maybe. I don't know. I don't like that. That's the thing when you're trying to position your plants. All right, because I had one here, so we're going to probably plug it in right here. All right, so we'll have silver gumdrop there. Y'all, the rain is already here. I don't think we're going to get to finish. But yeah, the silver gumdrop is going to go there. And then I have the other silver gumdrop. Let's see. I just have them sitting up on my husband's grill out here. This is the other silver gumdrop. This one here is going to go on this side of the garden. I wanted one right here. So we'll have the silver gumdrop there, one on the other side. And then hubby is trying to get them in the ground, but I don't know if we're going to make it. If I don't do nothing but get these two silver gumdrop out, that'll be fine, baby. Yeah, as y'all see, the wind is picking up. It is actually, it feels like it's what, about 60-something degrees? It's cold. Just want to cover up the roots a little bit. What is that? That's that chicken stuff? Huh? Tell me, because my hand's in it.
No, Brenda.
Oh.
It's in this wheelbarrow. All that soil we took out of the pot.
That's good. And then we can just put the stuff back on it, right? Now, this is where I had my last gumdrop at. All right, so that's going to be pretty. I hope it didn't pile up too much around it. So the other one's on that side, baby. All right, so we got our, what was that? A silver gumdrop right there. It's kind of close to my balloon flower, but that's where Patrick put it, so we're going to let it ride. And then this one here, we got this fabric in the way. You at your knife? Sometimes this fabric it ain't worth the headache. And this side, we never did finish mulching, so we got to finish mulching this side at some point. Put it back far as you can go because of that lamb's ear, that gets pretty big. You don't want to go too close to the tree though. You ain't got to be that deep. Look at your cup. Okay. Let's see if we can get it in there. We got to get some salt and put in there probably. Let me get the stuff. Hold on. You think we ought to throw some more of this out here? Just throw it out here and help my stuff grow?
Can you throw some out there?
I did before we mulched it. But I know them, you know. Well, I had put some on this stuff and I didn't see it do nothing.
Slow release.
Huh?
Slow release.
Okay. All right, so we're putting the other silver gumdrop there. Press it in good, baby, and then we can put some. You might not need no more salt, but you got to press that in. Here you go. Get that air pockets out. All right. That's what that one's gonna look like because we don't have mulch over here. All right, so we got those two in. You gonna put the sand there? All right, do you think we got room to put anything else? Or I was just thinking everything else was still gonna be too, because it's gonna get back big. I ain't wanna put nothing here. What you think? Because we got, I don't know how many flowers we got left. Probably about 7. 1, 2, 3. We still got 4 of these plants here. 2 Brunerer. Yeah, we got 7 plants left. You want to put something there? That's close to that house, and now that house is going to get big if the deer don't kill it. And you got a house on the other side of it.
Yeah, one right there.
Yeah, so you have 3 houses right there and get big. So I don't know if it's not going to grow there. What you think? You think I ought to put my bleeding heart right there? Because the Bruno will get big. The bleeding heart is the other thing. Though they're going in the corner in the front, right?
I don't know what you're doing. I'm just grabbing the plant. Look.
I just told you what to get. That right there, the bleeding heart. How big does she get? I don't think she get that big.
I ain't got no glass on.
All right, so this is the bleeding heart. Hold it, let me pull the tag out. And it says she gets 9 inches tall, 14 wide, 14 inches wide. So that'll be good right there. So that spot will be good for my bleeding heart. And this is what it's supposed to look like, y'all. This is my bleeding heart. So, huh? Yeah, that's this petunia you put out here, that spread it over there. But then again, that looked like it could be a zinnia, don't it? That like a zinnia. Look at this zinnia. This is a zinnia right here, baby. That looked like a zinnia. Yeah. See, y'all, I put one zinnia out here. And as you can see, we got one that popped up over here. So they spread really fast. And I would not even be mad if the zinnias came out here and came around this tree kind of heavy on the buffer. Because where they come up at and I don't want them, I can just pull them out. The sun coming back out, baby. You don't want to go too close to the tree, but you ain't got to go that deep for that plant there now. Bella, move. Where you get your back broke? All right, so we got a hole here. Baby, you want to get the wheelbarrow? Or you got enough saw for it, you think? All right. So I'll probably get my gloves and pull up these little weeds that we see coming in. And we are using 10-10-10 fertilizer in these plants because it's a slow release fertilizer. And I do know that the hostas do like the 10-10-10. I looked that up online. All right, so we're going to see if this grows. Too low. Put some dirt on it first. There you go. You need the wheelbarrow? Hold on, y'all. Let me, here goes the tag. Let me get the wheelbarrow. All right, so hubby put my bleeding heart in there. So this is what we have on this side. Prayerfully, my hostas will come back since some darn deer done ate them down. So do you see an eye where you want to put another one? We could plug in something right here. But we got a hosta here. You can plug in something right here if you like. Baby? You want to plug in something right here? Hey, want to plug in something right in here? We got a hosta here, a hosta here. I see that, baby. I ain't worrying about her. Them things grow so fast, we ain't got to even worry about that. You think something look good right there? All right, so hubby gonna put one right behind the lady fern. He is pulling poison ivy with his hand, y'all. He used to it though. I ain't. All right, let's decide what plant we want to put there. You want to do a Bruno right there, baby? This is the Dolce. Let me show y'all what this one's supposed to look like. This is what this one is going to look like. And I think this will give it some good color right in there. This is the Toffee Tart. So we're going to put this one where my husband is digging at. Then we're going to put the Toffee one right there, that pretty color there. I think that'll make a pretty one. Pretty color there to fill in. Give us some color in here. Yeah, that's going to be pretty. Because with all this green, you got the green and white, that pretty toffee tucked in there. I think it'll be real pretty. I wish I ever had a way to get me a bag of salt just to finish that little side over there, ain't it? Without waiting next week, probably. All right, baby, what you got now? Don't bring it deep. That's way too deep for that little plant. What's all that white stuff in that saw? Huh? Oh, okay. That might be too low, but we're going to do it anyway. I don't want it too low. I want it to sit up a little high. That's good. Press it in. But y'all don't have to tell you that because you believe in pressing them in. Right, now we just got to try and get our mulch back around. Huh? All right, so we plugged in. What having to do is we did 4, right, baby? So we've done 4. So we have hooker there, Corbell or hooker, say what you want. That's the silver. What you see now, baby? My husband has a really good eye of putting plants out. That's why I'm just letting him kind of decide where he want to put stuff. Because we still got 6 over there. 6. All right, so we've got 6. So I don't know if he wants to put anything. Or you think this is good? Are you trying not to put nothing up front? You want to put something there? Okay, what we want to put there? We can put something there.
Right there.
Well, you know, the Brunera, look at the size. The Brunera get big. Because I was just going to put the 2 Brunera up front and the side over there. What you think? Or don't put nothing up there yet. Because I don't want to put it where the deer going to eat it. Yeah, they're going to tear it up regardless, I know. Well, what do you suggest, baby? All right, so the leftover plants that we have here, I'm going to just make my corner bed. This is what I was wanting to do. Elephant ear that I put there is growing really well. So I figured what we're going to do out front, on each side of the elephant ear, I'm going to put these plants called the Brunera on each side. And then in front, this one is the evening gown corbel. In the middle, we have the wild rose. And then this one is a black pearl. So I think that'll look really pretty. And then we're supposed to be picking up some planter stones from the lady off of Marketplace. And then we're going to close this and make like a corner arch and then fill it in with mulching. I think that'll be kind of pretty. We're going to see what it does. All right, guys. So my battery is dying. I forgot to charge my phone last night. So I'm not going to be able to record as we're doing it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and plant up this area back here behind me. And then I'll charge my phone and then I'll bring you all back out once we get everything done and put out so that you can see what it's looking like, okay? Stay tuned. What you think? What you think? It's cute. So anyway, I'm getting ready to water this in, but this is what my little space back here gonna look like, y'all. I think it's cute. It's different.